Hi, everyone. Welcome to another video. My name is Chris Scappatura. I'm here with Dr. Sharief Ibrahim. And today we want to talk about microbiome. And essentially, that's the good and bad bacteria that you find in your gut. Now, before we get into talking about that specifically, Sharief, I want you to share that story about the mice. I think it's fascinating. It'll really drive home why it's so essential that we talk about this today.
Thank you, Chris. This is a very important study which were done in mice. It has confirmed the importance of these bacteria housed in our large intestine, the colon. They are really very important and supportive to our health and well-being, because if we have the good bacteria, then we are lucky to stay healthy. Otherwise, the bad bacteria are linked to the incidence of chronic disease. The studies we refer to were initially done in mice. They have taken the microbiome from obese mice and implanted into slim mice. That caused the slim mice to become obese. And the other way around happened as well. They have taken the microbiome from slim mice and put it into obese mice, and this become slim. Another researcher, they just really wanted to see whether the human microbiome can have any role in the well-being of mice. So they have taken microbiome from obese humans and implanted this into slim mice, and to their amazement, that has produced obese mice as well.
So we've used the word microbiome. What is that specifically, and why does it live in our gut? And how does that all link up into our health now?
Yeah, I think the microbiome are really our partner in this world, because they are very helpful in so many ways. These bacteria play a big role in our health. They provide essential nutrients which are not available in our food. Then they also help in the digestion, because they have got digestive enzymes, and this helps to break down our food and release all the important elements. And at the same time, some of the bacteria actually are very effective in releasing calories and energy from our food. And this could really have a negative effect here, because they release more calories and energy, which we could absorb, and it can give us really obesity and overweight.
Now, I like what you said before we started recording, how when we eat, we're eating for two. And I found that fascinating, because I do know in my own diet, I make sure that I'm consuming carbs and protein, but I'm eating a lot of fiber, and I'm not using the fiber. The microbiome is.
Yes, the fiber is really very essential element of food, but we have got actually, everybody would know that we have got no enzymes actually to digest fiber. And when we take fiber, and I'm talking about the soluble fiber, which will go intact to the colon where the bacteria are living, and these bacteria ferment this fiber and produce something very precious out of them. These are short-chain fatty acids. The most important one of them is called butyrates. And what is the importance of these butyrates? Butyrates are really very anti-inflammatory elements. And at the same time, the butyrates also is very helpful to the gut health. There is quite a lot of strong data to support that. People that produce a huge amount of butyrates, these prevent them from having cancer of the colon.
So now, as always, we always like to give a prescription of good food, and we always talk about going back to Mother Nature. What foods in particular can we eat to help feed the good bacteria?
Yeah, we are talking about providing a wide diversity of fiber, because there are many types of fiber. For example, in lentils, carrots, cabbage, berries, or pomegranates, the different types of fiber support the living of different types of bacteria. And by having different types of fiber, then you increase the diversity of bacteria in your gut. And that means they are going to do a lot of functions. As we said, they are going to help you digest your food. They are going to provide elements not available in your food. They are going to help you with detoxification. They play a lot of roles to support your health. If we are going to talk about the microbiome and the immune system, the microbiome were located in the colon. And if you can imagine, 80% of your immune system is just behind the colon or the gut wall. And so there is quite a lot of communication between the microbiome and the immune system. The microbiome train the immune system and support the immune system function. It gives the tolerance. That means the immune system would tolerate different body cells and will not attack them. If you see patients who have intolerance to their own cells, when the immune system, this is called autoimmunity, when the immune system attack different types of cells, that is not really very good. And so the microbiome help the immune system to tolerate different types of cells in the body and make them stronger to look after the body.
These good bacteria, we really want to help support their fight in our gut. What are some of the better foods for us to consume so they can consume it?
Yeah, we should really go for, as we said, for Mother Nature, the whole food, for the food that contains a lot of fiber. And we are really focusing on the soluble fibers because this is the food of the microbiome. Although the other types of fiber, which is insoluble fiber, is also very important for moving the food along the bowel and makes people regular. There is a wide variety of soluble fiber available in so many foods. If you take these foods, for example, those that contains really different colors, different foods like phytonutrients, which are colored natural food, that, for example, berries, pomegranates, cabbage, these are all going to cover a wide range of bacteria. And that is going to give you like a diversity of bacteria. And the more diversity of bacteria you have got, the more diversity of these bacteria, the more role they can play to improve your life.
Now, Sharief, is this a long process for someone to turn their gut? We now have told them to eat some cabbage and to consume these foods that are going to help the gut. How quickly can someone begin to really feel that positive effect?
I think it will take time. It's not like something which is going to happen overnight. It will definitely take time, and gradually, actually, you will increase the number of the beneficial bacteria in your gut, and then you will widen the range and the diversity of these bacteria gradually. It takes time, but by the time when you are able to achieve that, then I think this is really going to be a big support, actually, for you to enjoy a lot of health and vitality.
And so let's put it this way to them, Sharief. If you're someone who's trying to lose weight or having difficulty losing weight, you have to remember it took you maybe a year, 5 years, maybe 10 years to put all this weight on. And everybody's looking for that 30-day meltdown. Every magazine on the newsstand, lose all that weight in 30 days. This is not what we're talking about. As Sharief mentioned, this is a slow process where you're actually converting your gut. You're creating a better environment for your body to consume the food correctly. So give yourself some time. It might be maybe 3, 4, 5 months, but know that it's a process. Stop reading these magazines and these fad diets that are telling you just to eat a grapefruit every day and you're going to lose the weight. Sure, you'll lose the weight. And the minute you start eating regular food again, the weight will come right back on, as we talked about in one of our earlier videos. So, Sharief, I know we've been using the word bacteria, but there are a number of other living organisms in the gut. Can you explain those before we finish up today?
Yes, the bacteria are the most abundant, really, organisms in our gut. But we also have viruses, we have yeast, which is fungi as well. Even parasites actually would also be part of our microbiome. If you can imagine this microbiome, if we are going to talk about the bacteria, we have got 300 trillions of bacteria, which actually weigh about something like 3 pounds. And then if you're going to look into the genome, because you see in our body, we have got something like, say, 1 out of genome belongs to the human being, but the bacteria actually have 9 out of 10 genome in our body. So the bacteria account for 9 out of 10 genome in our body. You can easily say that we are bacteria having a human experience.
Yes, yes, so true. And so all of you bacteria out there, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Okay, Sharief, so we've been talking about the good guys, and that's great. And everyone, absolutely focus on feeding those good guys. But we all have bad guys in our gut, no matter how healthy we are. And if you're one of these people who have too many, you're going to have a lot of health issues. Sharief, let's talk a little bit about those issues and what can happen.
The most important problem associated with the bad bacteria in the gut, that they produce toxins. These toxins called lipopolysaccharides, the LPS, and these toxins can damage the gut lining and they can leak inside the body, producing inflammation. We have spoken about inflammation, particularly low-grade chronic inflammation, which is the underlying cause of insulin resistance, and insulin resistance results in obesity and weight gain. And this is why these guys who have got the wrong bacteria in their gut and having this inflammation, whatever they are going to do in terms of their food or their exercise or their sleep, without really clearing this inflammation, they're not really going to sort out their weight problem.
I remember we talked about this in the past. The bad bacteria, they can control your brain. They'll say to your brain, oh, you know what? Go get me that ice cream, or go get me that McDonald's, or go get me some crisps or some chips. The bad bacteria are very aggressive. It is a war down there, and they want to win. They want to dominate. And so for people who are overweight or having health issues, one of those things are the bad bacteria and the control that they have. So by eating the good food and giving the good bacteria the opportunity to fight, it will reduce that bad bacteria. But in the end, it's just a war zone down there. So how you equip your gut will determine how much you're going to have of bad guys and how much you're going to have of good guys. And ultimately, you want to have more good guys so that you're not running yourself into insulin resistance or obesity. And it's impossible to get rid of all the bad guys, but you want to have a dominant gut that has good guys in it. It seems we talk a lot about good and bad guys. We've got cholesterol, we've got the microbiome. You always want the good guys fighting for you.
And it's very interesting. There is research which has found a link between metabolic markers and bad bacteria in your gut, such as bacteria associated with high blood pressure, low cholesterol, high triglyceride. That is all a reflection of how these bad bacteria operate under the surface and give us all these risk factors of vascular disease. So I think that the best thing to do here is try to do as much as we can to eat the good food that is going to keep the good and bad bacteria in balance. Or actually, we need to have more of the good bacteria than the bad ones.
Sharief, as always, fantastic information. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care. Sharief and I appreciate you liking this video, and more importantly, remember to subscribe to this channel. There's a lot of content that we're going to be creating, and we don't want you to miss a single second of it.